This is my United States of whatever.
It will probably, unfortunately, get worse before they get better.
Yeah, whatever.
Thanks for joining us today on June 21st, year of our Lord 2021. I'm Stephen Beckmann. Let's go over today's top 5 stories and Rubik's Cube the narrative together. An elderly man driving a lead truck in a Pride Month celebration parade near Miami, Florida, lost consciousness and plowed into 2 singers from the gay men's chorus, also participating in the parade, killing one and critically injuring the second. The 77-year-old man driving lost consciousness in a freak medical incident and stepped on the gas, driving the vehicle uncontrollably into the singers ahead of him in the parade, eventually careening into a nursery where the truck stopped. Many, including the mayor of the town the parade was actually being held in, declared the incident a terrorist attack without waiting for investigation details. This was followed by many others being quick to go to the internet to condemn the incident, and declarations to incite violence against the driver in posts and comments. But as the internet and cancel cultures do, no one waited for the facts and details to come to make an informed opinion, and the reality was that the driver was 100% cooperative with the police, and after 48 hours it became clear this was a freak accident. The man driving reportedly feels terrible and emotionally distraught after the incident. The parade was soon canceled after the incident. The good news is the surviving victim is expected to survive his injuries. The Delta variant of the Wuhan coronavirus that first was identified in India has spread to over 80 countries. The strain has reached 41 states in the US and has seen a high infection rate in regions where vaccination is low. The Delta strain spike is yet again another accurate prediction by top US virologists of a third wave to hit the US, with the height of infection slated to reach its peak this fall after White Boy Summer reaches its crescendo and young Americans return to school. It's expected the Delta variant to dominate infections globally, with the recommended vaccines to offer the most protection to be manufactured by Pfizer and Moderna. This new strain is on the heels of the Biden administration's goal of 70% of the country to be vaccinated by July the 4th to avoid a third wave and reach herd immunity. The Delta variant is the most easily transmissible of all the COVID-19 variants and brings different symptoms as well. In addition to the myriad of coronavirus symptoms which Delta has been reported to affect people more intensely, it also brings with it headaches and a sore throat to boot. We encourage viewers to mask up if you aren't already vaccinated, and if you survive corona and haven't vaccinated because of this, please donate your plasma to help those who might be hospitalized by this more intense upcoming variant surge. This weekend marked the first time Juneteenth was observed as a national holiday thanks to the Biden administration's declaration of the day as a federally observed holiday. As we all well know, Juneteenth is a celebration of the end of slavery of Black Americans. And to mark this occasion, people took to the streets and parties to celebrate the abolishment of owning slaves. What was also marked by many mainstream establishment media outlets was the high rates of gun crime and shootings during the holiday weekend celebrations. Shootings were reported in California, South Carolina, Michigan, Colorado, Philadelphia, and Louisiana. What was a severe disappointment was how this story of shootings was a highlight of many corporate media outlets on the first major recognized celebration of Juneteenth. This reporting done by established news outlets cast a black eye on minorities and unfairly represented Black Americans as violent and animalistic. Now, before you think I'm grandstanding, I like to point out that Almost every year, we have significantly more gun violence related to incidents during Labor Day and many other holidays where people get the day off, which they use as an excuse to party. None of these comparisons to other holidays were highlighted in the numerous outlets reporting on gun incidents during Juneteenth, which furthers the argument on how we as a country need to educate our young minds about media bias that has held back our nation in racial inequality, presumably with curriculum like critical race theory. How information is presented is just as important as what is being presented in media. And you can imply it just as much with indirectly saying something as you can with biased presentation of facts and how it pertains to a particular demographic in a story. Instead of wrapping themselves in American pride or BLM flag when it suits them, we encourage mainstream media outlets to take the power they yield more seriously and not act as if they are naive to the strategies used to quietly oppress a demographic through various reporting methodologies. Hong Kong's second most popular newspaper, the Apple Daily, which takes a clear pro-democratic stance on its reporting, is reported to be shutting down after 500 Chinese Communist Party police raided the offices. Editor Ryan Law, Cheong Kim Hung, CEO of the parent company, Next Digital, which owns the paper, COO Chow Tat Kyun, deputy editor, the online editor, have all been detained by police without bail. The Biden administration has condemned the act and hopes for the speedy release and fair treatment of the paper's staff that was detained. The reason for the paper's shutdown, in addition to jailing the top staff, the CCP government has also frozen the accounts of the CEO and parent company. This freeze keeps them from paying expenses and staff to run the paper. This isn't the first time this has happened either. After the paper's CEO publicly supported the popular pro-democratic Hong Kong protests in 2019, the paper's offices were raided by 200 Communist Party police soon after in 2020. The event was live streamed for thousands to see live by a camera system installed by the paper prior to the incident. The incarcerated editors and executive staff in this recent raid had their 3 million yuan bail offered denied by authorities, saying their freedom was deemed a national security threat, even though they also said they would resign their posts as well. Our hearts go out to Apple News and their staff, and we wait for more details as this story develops. Iran's sole nuclear power plant has undergone an emergency shutdown. The Iranian media has reported the plant is undergoing repairs in hopes to have them resolved by Friday, which until then, power outages are expected until the repairs can be made. This will be difficult because of continuing U.S. banking sanctions on Iran for a couple of reasons. You see, the plant was initially set up with the help of Russia, according to the United Nations agreement, in order to limit the nuclear capabilities of Iran at the time. According to the agreement, Iran was not allowed to produce nuclear power rods for the reactor and must purchase them and pay to have them discarded by Russia. The repairs might not happen soon, leaving many people in the dark because Iran won't be able to purchase the repair parts from Russia because of these sanctions. In the US's and Israel's very violent back and forth with Iran, this incident puts further strain on Iran, who already has to jump through many hoops after the nuclear agreement talks fell apart. It's said that Iran's new hardline president is slated to bring prosperity to the restricted nation, although it's reported that he has said that he has refused to speak to Biden, leaving some on the global stage to speculate this plant shutdown could be sabotage that the country has openly been subjected to in the past, primarily used to bring Iran to the negotiating table. We will know further details about the cause of the emergency shutdown until it's reported by state media. Today's featured podcast is Reveal by the Center for Investigative Reporting. From prisons to protests immigration to the environment, the Peabody Award-winning Reveal goes deep into the pressing issues of our times. Reveal is a project of the Center for Investigative Reporting and is co-produced with PRX. The show is hosted by Al Letson and partners with reporters and newsrooms around the world. You can find the link to listen right now in the video description. After watching us, you might want to head over to YouTube and check out some drops today that are worth your time. The first full episode of Rick and Morty Season 5 can be watched in its entirety right now on YouTube if you head on over there. The trailer for Snake Eyes, a G.I. Joe movie spin-off, has also dropped. And Bo Burnham released another clip from his absolutely amazing comedy special called Inside. His entire comedy special can be seen on Netflix. Thank you for participating in our Zero Profit News project today. And I urge you, not only to get your news from us, but from many outlets to get a better idea of the overall narrative. If you enjoy our take on today's stories and support independent news that 0% relies on advertising dollars or investors, then please like and share today's debrief. Until we see each other again, my name is Stephen Beckmann, and I'm reporting from deep inside the filter bubble. I leave you now with Amnesty Watch.
Just ride.